Okay, so you know the purpose of me visiting you, and I'm sure you have gone through this before and have read briefly. So I'll just begin with my interview now, and as a stepping question, I'll be asking you the very basic thing, like which I ask everywhere. How would you describe the present condition of the Islamic financial service industry at the moment? Like, is it growing? Is it coming in par with the conventional bank? So,
thank you. It is actually numbers are already there available from the industry. The growth rate continues to be faster than that of conventional. In specific markets, mainly the Middle East and the Far East side. So the number of sukuk issuances and then also on the corporate financing and the syndication side, the number of transactions has grown, and the exposure to Islamic banking, the percentage of Islamic banking assets in these markets is continues to grow. Some of the markets were very slow early on. For example, Pakistan and in fact UAE was also not very quick early on, but now you see about 23% of assets, banking assets, are Islamic. Bangladesh is growing very fast. Malaysia and Indonesia, they were struggling with some regulatory items which have now been fixed, and hence you see more transactions. And also from these kind of hubs of Islamic banking, you see nearby markets also tap into Islamic banking. So the likes of the Chinese and the Hong Kong markets are also interested in Islamic.
So overall, it will be fair for me to say that it's growing.
It's growing. However, certain parts of the world, such as the Europe and the North America side, there hasn't been much growth. But that's also got to do with the fragmentation of the target market. So banks don't really see a sizable population, even though there are some efforts, but the growth is not significant. However, in the more traditional markets, the growth is significant.
So now coming to the specifically to the cross-selling side, how does your firm perceives the importance of cross-selling?
Okay. Now, first of all, our business model within First Abu Dhabi Bank is more of that there is no specific Islamic coverage team. So there's one coverage team which sells both Islamic and conventional.
Okay.
When we started the business in 2013, Islamic was seen more as a cross-sell for them.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, you do your conventional, but you also sell Islamic, so that becomes like cross-sell as an add-on, and some RMs were reluctant, some were very interested. There was a requirement from certain clients, so that led to growth. However, now it has become like a core proposition for the bank as well. So alongside conventional, they have to sell Islamic as well. It's not just a product push from our side. Yes, people have budgets for Islamic and conventional, also coming from the market.
So now there are two teams which are cross-selling. One is for
the same team, but they carry two budgets. They carry a conventional budget, they carry an Islamic budget. So if I am a GRM and I meet my conventional targets and I don't meet my Islamic targets, I will be questioned. So it's a next step from a cross-sell really, at least in our organization.
And how do you think both of them are doing? Like when it comes to Islamic cross-selling Islamic products, do you think they are at par with the conventional products, or is it staggering somewhere?
It's not staggering because we have grown almost 15 to 20 times in the last 5 years.
So cross-selling, you're telling me, is doing much more better on the Islamic
If you look
side.
at the growth rate, yes. So the point I'm making here is that it's one step ahead of cross-sell. It's not just cross-sell, it's selling as a core proposition. and given the customers want it, given that it's part of your budget.
Okay.
So it's growing faster than conventional.
So if I can ask you, like for example, if in conventional, what would be the cross-selling ratio for each customer? Like how many products in conventional? Just roughly, what do you think? For example, in conventional, if it's like one customer holding 3 products,
Yeah.
how many do you think will be holding in an Islamic side? Like
I would say if the conventional is 4, Islamic is 3 right now.
okay,
But we aspire, the conventional bank aspires to make it 6. We also aspire to make it 6.
okay,
So it has to go the same way. So talking from a client, from a GRM soliciting a client, he'll ask a question, do you want Islamic or conventional? He'll not go with the signs that I'm selling conventional and if you want Islamic. He'll offer both at the outset. And should a customer want Islamic, he will show the full catalog, so to speak. So the aspiration as far as the product penetration goes is pretty much same as on the conventional.
so cross-selling on the Islamic side is also achieving, is almost there. Is achieving is
Yes.
it's not like struggling in order to sell its products.
It's not.
It's
and particularly since our merger, the number of products in the combined bank has gone up significantly because of the synergy of the 2 banks. So a lot of things which the legacy FGB was not doing Islamically, and likewise legacy NBAD was not doing. Now because of the synergies, both products are available. So we recently launched something called loan agency equivalent. So that feature wasn't available Islamically earlier in either of the entities. However, given the interest from the market, now we are selling, and we have already attracted
So
7 clients within a year.
wow. So you're telling us, saying this on more the corporate side rather than on the retail side.
See, in all fairness, our bank, FAB, do not have much of a retail proposition
Okay,
as far as Islamic goes at this point in time.
okay,
So whatever I'm speaking is more for the corporate and investment banking side.
okay,
Whatever the bank does on the retail side is mainly offered from 2 of the subsidiaries, one being Asil and one being Adnif, which are also going through their respective integration and merger exercises. But they are the shop for that, not us. We do
Okay.
not look at retail.
okay. No, I was just generally asking in case if you can just give me some input on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was quite a lot of revelation, I would say. Thank you. Moving to my next question is why is cross-selling important? Why do you think? Please explain why cross-selling is used in your bank. Why do you put so much importance to?
Because mainly because now banking has evolved into trying to get a bigger share from the customer. So the idea is to make the customer a core customer, or rather that we should be the main bank, operating bank from the customer's perspective. Because if he is not coming to us, he'll be going to someone else. If we are giving a conventional loan to the customer, then for his Islamic needs, for his trade needs, for his cash management needs, for his treasury needs, he's going everywhere. So if you do only the plain vanilla product, you will not go very far.
Yeah.
Right? The regulation is becoming more expensive, the costs are increasing, and there is enormous pressure from shareholders to increase the bottom line, right? With the same resource, right? So managing with the same resource in a difficult environment, that is what every organization is about. And secondly, it's tricky to get a new customer because there's a lot of competition out there in the market. So the low-hanging fruit is rather to get more out of your existing customers, because
Sure.
we've already done the due diligence, we've already done the credit on the customer, we know the customer better. So extracting more out of the same customer, making him feel that we are in a shop which offers every need. So from his perspective, he doesn't need to go to 4 or 5 suppliers. Sometimes he will be his senior management direction would be that you look at a few banks, not one. So we had a live case yesterday where we said, Mr. Customer, we can serve all your needs, as in what. So they said, but that our direction from our ALCO, Asset Liability Management Committee, is to have a few banks. So we said, okay, then if that's the way, then we'll do this and we'll do this and this. We want to get the maximum from that customer.
Yeah,
because
true.
we know the customer very well anyway.
So did he finally comply? Like, did he agree to?
He wouldn't give everything to us, but he would give us a bigger share. He would give it to us on priority.
Okay.
Right.
So, do you think cross-selling is same or different in Islamic financial service industry as compared to the conventional?
In all fairness, if you look at the industry, I do not think it is at this point in time, in terms of what I see in the market. However, in terms of what it should be, yes, it should be. And the better banks will make it a point that cross-sell on Islamic is given significant focus. Otherwise, survival will become more and more difficult.
Yeah, so it's at the moment it's not like
It's
at
not.
par with the conventional.
It's
So
not.
why do you think it's not the case? Why?
I think it's just an evolution of Islamic banking. It's still at infancy. I mean, despite having done a few decades, it's still not the case. I mean, based on my experience on the previous organizations as well. Even on the conventional side, cross-sell is evolving. It's not so much. I mean, like you just asked me about the retail. I do not know.
Okay.
Right? I have a very high level idea of what it is. But as a customer, you would expect me to know more about what the retail bank is doing, because they are all linked.
Yeah.
So, for instance, my client is a corporate, but he would have employee banking requirement. The client's staff will require financing, they'll require auto financing, they'll require current account. So if the bank looks at it holistically, then many opportunities are being missed. And that's what all cross-selling is about, that you look at the client holistically, you look at the ecosystem.
True.
So you extract
Yeah.
more out of it. But unfortunately, banks are not doing it that
So
way.
you're telling me they're not very well interconnected, like we're not very well synchronized.
Actually,
in order to share the information, like the data or the information where they can, suggest or identify a potential target for cross-selling.
See, that's how it should be, but based on my experience, not just the current organization, in previous organizations as well, and I've worked
Islamic banks are still struggling.
not even conventional.
You can-
Okay, so I wouldn't know much about the North American side, but at least here in the Middle East, okay, I do not see that level. I mean, maybe my ideal is a bit higher level. I expect more of that.
Yeah, true.
To me, when I go to a customer, I want to sell everything which he buys, and otherwise that's a potential revenue loss. Right? I'm not
True.
making that. So I do not see, even on the conventional side, I do not have statistics available on that, because right now, obviously, in banks, generally, given the size, given it's a regulated industry,